If you're a K through 12 teacher, then you know it's pretty common for schools to implement 15-day challenges within their professional learning communities for any given school year. And if you've ever had to do these 15-day challenges as a teacher, then you know that oftentimes it can feel like just another task or just another thing that you have to plan and prep for. But the reality is that these 15-day challenges are actually a great way for teachers to come together and find ways that they can support their students in mastering the standards that are aligned to their curriculum. These 15-day challenges can take time to plan for and to make and then to work them into your lesson plans. But luckily, with generative AI, I'm going to show you how you can quickly, easily, and effectively create these 15-day challenges and create lesson plans that tie directly to them as well. As you can see here, I'm using ChatGPT for this demonstration, but any generative AI tool that you have access to is going to work just fine. The first step that we're going to do is I want you to upload an example of the 15-day challenge that you have. Whether it's one that you've already created and you really like the format, or it's one that your school has provided you that they want you to use, I want you to go ahead and upload that because it's going to tell the generative AI tool that you're using how to structure its output, which is really important and going to save you a ton of time. After you have that uploaded, you're going to go ahead and enter this prompt into the chat. Now, don't worry about having to type this all out. This prompt is provided for you in the description so you can easily copy and paste it. And as you can see here, we're starting off the prompt with the grade level that you teach and the subject that you teach as well. This is going to help the generative AI tool structure its output accordingly based on your grade level when you start to develop this curriculum, which again is going to save you time. So go ahead and put whatever grade and subject that you teach, and then you're going to adjust however many days you want this instructional plan to be based on your needs. In this next section, you're going to add whatever standard that you're working with right here. After you do that, you can see that I've included a sentence that instructs the tool to include any substandards that are aligned to the provided standard. If you've worked with generative AI before, you know that you need to check its work. You shouldn't just copy and paste directly from your generative AI tool into a document and then use it. So if you want more accuracy, go ahead, instead of that sentence, add the substandards that you know you want aligned to the curriculum that you are going to create. Next, in this section down here, you can add whatever elements that you want. I just asked it to incorporate differentiation strategies, hands-on learning, and opportunities for reflection. That's just for demonstration purposes. You can add whatever elements that you need in your plan. And then at the end, we ask it to provide the standard or substandard that is aligned to each day. And you're going to go ahead and hit enter and watch your generative AI tool work. It's important for teachers to understand that using AI is not replacing you as a teacher or replacing your teaching. What it's doing is you're letting it draft curriculum and content for you to lighten your load so that you don't have to spend as much time prepping. You don't have to spend as much time preparing this curriculum. Let this draft ideas for you, and then you can go ahead and edit whatever it produces. So you can see here, in the time that I was talking, it's already knocked out 3 days and working on the 4th day of your plan. It does it very, very quickly. And so you can see here, based on the instructions, it's given me the standard, the day, activity, demonstrations, differentiation, and reflection activity that the students can do. And it's going to do this for each and every day. And after you get this content, this draft written for your curriculum, you're going to then go ahead and edit it to what you want it to be. Now, before you do that, I'm going to show you how you can incorporate assessment data to further align and get what you need out of this 15-day challenge. So here is a Microsoft Excel data sheet that I've created to demonstrate how you can align your 15-day instructional plan to assessment data. So as you can see here, I have the students, I have the assessment scores, and you can use this for any data that you have, any data that you want to tie into that instructional plan that we just created, you can use it. Now, what I will say, I always train teachers to do this. Remove the names of your students. Generative AI does not need personal names of your students. All it needs is the scores. You don't want to share important information, personal information with generative AI tools because it then shares it with that company. So if you have any student names, any identifiable information in there, take it out. All it needs is the scores. You're going to go ahead and head back to the chat in which you created your 15-day instructional plan. Now, what you're going to do in that same chat, you're going to go ahead and add that assessment data example, whichever assessment data that you want to use with your students' names taken out, you're going to go ahead and upload that to your chat. And then you're going to enter this prompt. So now we're going to tell the chat to tailor this 15-day challenge to the assessment data provided. Once again, you don't have to worry about typing all of this out in the chat. The prompt is provided for you in the description, so all you have to do is copy and paste. Once you have that in there, go ahead and hit enter, and then your generative AI tool will then tailor your instructional plan to the assessment data that you provided and give you adjustments based on that data, which is pretty cool. Once again, it's going to analyze it and it's going to give you a draft for you to then work with. You can then take these drafts that you create back to your PLCs or whoever it is that's needed to share, brainstorm ideas, bounce things off of you. But you have now done this in minutes. Obviously, it takes me longer to explain it, but with you just copying and pasting these things in there, it can get done in under 10 minutes. And you can see here, it's giving you ideas for how to adjust this instructional plan based on the student data. And not only that, it is going to give you an adjustment for each day and include what to do for students who are excelling and what to do for students who are struggling with the adjustment and the extension. And you have all this material that you can now work with for each day in your instructional plan. Now, after you have edited this and got your instructional plan how you like it, you can then take it one step further and create a lesson plan right here in this draft. Let me show you how. What you're going to do is you are going to simply tell ChatGPT to create a lesson plan for whatever day that you want. So we're going to be nice. We're going to tell it, great, thank you. Now create a lesson plan for day one. And the same concept as before. If you have a lesson plan template or structure that you like, go ahead and upload it and instruct the chat to tailor that lesson plan to the example that you provided. We're going to go ahead and hit enter, and it is going to create a lesson plan for you based on day one of the instructional plan that it gave. You see it lists the standard, it lists lesson objectives. It's going to give you a full detailed lesson plan in seconds, which you can then go in and revise. If you don't like a certain aspect of the lesson plan, then all you got to do is ask your generative AI tool to change it and provide examples of what you're looking for, and it will give you those examples that you can then go in and apply. So you can see here, it's creating it, and this is going to cut your prep time at least in half. So no longer do you have to spend vast amounts of time preparing drafts, preparing for these extra initiatives that your school has. Let AI draft it for you in seconds. So then you can take these ideas to your professional learning communities, and then you can use these ideas to be developed into lesson plans that you can then use for your students. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit that subscribe, hit that like so you can be notified when new videos are posted.